Alrighty, welcome to today's recurring Telex Council meeting. June 24th, it's hot here, a lot of football going on, also Canada playing.
Go
Let's see,
Canada.
go Canada, let's see how they will do. All right, starting with the short intro, and then I'll give it to you, Andrew, I think, for the recap. Short intro. These recurring meetings provide several critical functions for our governance, and they provide transparency to our community, create structure for our forum, provide authors the ability to present their proposals to the council and community, and allow the council and community to review, debate, and refine these proposals so they can get to a place where we have consensus and mutual understanding. And this ensures consistent communication between council members and the community. The Telex Council is a local governance organization with authority over and duties towards Telex operational rules, system health, and social well-being, to accept, develop, and vote on Telex IPs, to change or introduce new elements to Telex, to alter harvesting rules, and be responsible for generally representing the interests of and informing their constituency in matters pertaining to Telex. Duties. The Telex Council was required to plan, finance, and coordinate implementation of improvement steps, regulate the flow of TEL issuance to allow Telex to be harvested by liquidity miners, introduce, alter, and enforce Telex operational rules, including harvesting information, community maintenance, and construction. And last but not least, inform miners of the activities and outcomes related to Telex and results from any snapshot votes. And these snapshot votes are a requirement for all council members, and in order for a proposal to move forward, there needs to be a 5 of 6 majority vote, and all 6 members voting within 5 days from the start of it being posted to Snapshot. And with that, we at the recap of the last meeting. So, Andrew, up to you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Last week we primarily focused on the Merkle proof of concept findings, diving into period 42, the data, the distribution that Eric, you had kind of put together. Again, it was really focused on finalizing, the results of that proof of concept over those last 3-4 weeks with the base pool, with Tel ETH, which I'm sure we'll dive into a little bit more. Key findings, we did find that Merkle distributed the rewards more evenly via the Gini coefficient that we've been following and tracking. So I think we're at a place now where we feel comfortable. We'll probably, like I said, dive into it in a little bit, just finalizing kind of the results and before formally putting something to a snapshot proposal. Some of the things we'll have to talk a little bit more about today is just more about the reward percentages and how we're going to break things out, the weighting, so to speak. I think a lot of what we talked about last week was specific to that. And I know that once this proposal kind of gets put to the forum, goes to the snapshot vote, and hopefully gets passed, then we have some other things that we got to start working on as it relates to the hook, some front end stuff on the Telex website with Halil, and then just integrating everything with Merkle, some testing from an end-to-end perspective, and everything from that. So that was a quick summary of what happened on our last meeting a couple weeks ago, and we can jump into the rest of the agenda.
Alrighty, thank you, Andrew. The next item on the agenda is still Merkle. We discussed the outcomes last meeting in general. I know technical stuff to be done also. Leo is in the call. Leo, could you outline for us a bit what has to happen on the technical front regarding the hooks and other matters?
Yeah, so Noah has drafted up basically a plan for how to remove the hooks in a Merkle environment, basically. So once we move, if we move from current setup to Merkle, how we will no longer require the hooks, and therefore we should remove them. So we're getting picked up on aggregators and stuff. He hasn't gone into building that yet until we vote on it, but he's pretty certain it's feasible, and so that's all good from that end. I had a call with Halil this morning around implementing the Merkle API into the Telex front end, which would be the new Telex front end based on the unified web presence proposal. And he's going to start looking into that, but it should be pretty simple, and it will have a very similar UI feel to the current implementation and the planned improvements in line with the unified web presence. So yeah, looking to hear back from him hopefully kind of next week. He's got a few other bits on, as you can imagine. But yeah, so those are in progress.
Okay, that's it. I heard the term.
Can I
go
just
ahead,
ask a question here, Leo? On the Merkle front, are we all square with them regarding payments and everything? Are there any payments left to be made for the work that they did in the proof of concept? And are there any kind of roadblocks in that area that you're aware of?
So we've made one of 4 payments. The second installation is due at the end of the month, so I'm planning to make that within the next few days. And then they'll invoice for the third installation after that. So everything fine on that front, and yeah, nothing else to report.
So it's one a month. That's what one payment a month, is it?
One payment a month for 4 months. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's just to cover the development costs to get us integrated, basically.
Of
So
course.
they were willing to spread those costs.
Yeah, and then when we go ahead with implementation, if the vote's successful, of course, it's a pay-as-you-go kind of route.
Yeah,
method.
it's just pay as you go based on the tokens we are distributing through their platform. So I think it's a 3% fee or something.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll fund those with TEL tokens, and then they take a portion of those TEL tokens, and that's their payment, and then they get distributed from there.
So Leo, we don't have to swap anything to like a US stable.
Yeah, so for these 4 installations, they require dollar amounts. So
Yeah,
we do
right.
need to swap
I just
those.
meant on like an ongoing basis once we go forward. They're okay.
No, ongoing they just take from the reward token, so it'll be TEL in this case.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, nice. They've made it very easy to pay them, weirdly enough.
Thanks, Leo. Yeah.
No worries.
I see Nick is on this call. Sorry to jump on you like this, Nick. But I heard the term unified web presence talked about. Nick, if you hear this, could you tell us a little bit about the unified web presence?
Yeah, I can do better than that, Eric. I can give you a demo of the latest kind of update of where we are with it. The content has been done, and the UI phase is about to be signed off. And then we're going to be moving into the building phase. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second.
You came in prepared, I know.
Yeah, well, I thought it's only fair to give everybody a bit of a demo if needed. I didn't expect you to ask, but I came prepared.
You've seen it here first, folks.
Yeah. Let's see. Tell me when you can see the screen.
Yep.
Alrighty, so I won't go into too much detail because there are a lot of pages, but the main ones we'll focus on is and also this looks a bit blown out of proportion because it's only a Figma click through, but it will be, it will look a little bit normalized, so to speak, when you look at it in a web browser once it's built.
You might want to close some browser tabs there, man. Hold on.
that's all important stuff, mate. I can't.
And it's only,
Nick, you're giving me anxiety.
it's only placeholder information, isn't it, Nick?
They were all closed this morning. That's today they've been opened. I closed them all last night.
It's hot in the UK, and Nick's got all his windows open.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear feedback? Can you hear my fan?
I'm talking about your tabs.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't worry, everybody. On the stream, I cropped everything so you can only see Nick's window and not all of his tabs, so we're good.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing too.
No, I was being sarcastic, Dick, but
yeah. No. Did you by any chance?
I did. It's cropped just because I wanted to. Yeah, don't move it.
Yeah.
It helps blow it up on the screen too, so everybody can see it.
All right, cool. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, so this is the current homepage that you'll land on. We've got a nice design here that kind of breaks down the ecosystem into, four sort of layers. And then as you come down, you're going to have your choose your journey. So, nice, easy paths. If you're a mobile network operator, go off that way. If you're a developer, go off that way. If you're, more than two paths. If you're a tow holder or TEDx liquidity providers, stakers, you can go off that way. Business and infrastructure providers, you can head off that way. New users, you can go and learn the basics. And then we've got, the TEL token, what it is, how to get it. And then we've got like build with TEL, start building. So that kind of is a bit developer focused as well. And then just more sort of, bits of breakdown on the homepage of what we are, what the ecosystem is, and what TEL is. Further down here, just a few more bits and pieces. These are not real, so they're just placeholder. I have to say that these days with social media, otherwise someone will someone will go searching out Nibble Health and be like, "Who's that?" So and then just some updates, etc. Learn and explore, just the homepage, and then just down here a few different kind of ways to get off. That's the main sort of homepage, how it's going to look. And there's obviously mobile friendly as well. So I haven't got a click through of the mobile one, but we've got all the Figma stuff for mobile friendly as well. And then you've got like the M&O pages. So M&Os that land here, they'll come down, understand what it is to be a validator. As I think, don't quote me on it, but I think this might be the map that when we get validators announced, I think they appear on this map. I can't remember if it's this one or a different one, but and then this is more about running a validator, how the opportunities, the earning opportunities, etc., and then how it works down here, how validator infrastructure works. Start a conversation for anyone that's not in the wants to know. And then, for example, I'll just show you two more. Then we've got the ones that you guys will like.
Yeah, do the DeFi. Yeah,
the DeFi one. So we've got again, this is a bit blown out of proportion, so it will be more smaller, and in line. But in essence, we're just reskinning the Telex site so it matches but all the functionality, all the Web3 functionality that's already been built is just going to plug into the back of this. So nothing's going away. It's just more of a unified layout that's going to work well with the current design. And then these will obviously take you to all your guys' documentation, how it works, just some basic stuff here. This content, it has been signed off, but obviously, once this is a complete, we're having it custom built from scratch, so it's going to be a full CMS platform as well, where we can, obviously that needs to be capital T, capital E, capital L, and small x, but like that. But yeah, there's loads of stuff that we can tweak content-wise if needed. The pool, I don't think the click-through works on with the liquidity pools, but no, it doesn't. Okay, it's a shame. I want to show you the other pages, but that's just the homepage of the Telex one. There are obviously, like you've already got on Telex, the pools page and all the other pages are really, they actually look really nice. So
awesome.
Those are those, and then we've got things like the developer landing page. Again, we want this page to be really intuitive for developers. So, you've got two paths, again, from being an application developer. You can go down the GSMA route, and where you get all the benefits of building on the network, or you're just starting out, you can go on the open source route and just build, with the network, open source. Nice, easy way. Start building in these steps. Build and deploy, connect to network. Examples of what you could build on the network. Just ideas.
Looks great, huh?
Yeah, other more of the developer learning center. So quick start, network reference, all the other things. Explore. Then you can explore in deep the technical documentation. Improvement proposals, and then also if you want to apply and take advantage of the TAN's current kind of grant to cover you for the first year of a GSMA membership, you can get in contact. But the good thing is you can start building yourself. A developer can start building, and then they can apply for GSMA later if they want to move up the tier onto their next kind of layer. And then we've got like the governance. We know the Telcoin.org website is very heavy on the documentation. So we are trying to break down what the association is in a nice, easy way, and give little bits of information to consume. 5 councils, for example, and so for people to try and understand what the Telcoin Association is at an easy glance. They can also then dig down deeper into the different layers of the governance. We will be reusing all of the existing Telcoin.org documentation, but it will just be, it will be buried a bit deeper. So, like here, for example, if you click on that, it will take you to within this web framework, this new unified web framework, it will take you to the updated, all the documentation, and you can dig through it yourself like you can already. And then, links to the recent forum proposals that have come up, so they can easily be clicked on and read. That's something else, and just a bit more news. So that's kind of it overall. There are a lot more pages, but I won't bore with with the other stuff. But got nice menus, all mobile friendly as well. That's pretty much it. And we're just gonna get it signed off, and then we're gonna start moving into the build phase, which is the last phase 3. Up to 12 weeks, I think. But obviously, we're going to aim to get it done as soon as possible, and then we can launch it, and it can be open for everyone to view.
Awesome. It's going to be a busy summer. Looking at this.
Always busy.
Yeah, I knew when I asked you to give a summary, it was going to be an extensive one.
Well, there you go. Everyone.
Thanks a lot. Man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Nick.
Welcome.
Cool. Well, that's that. Let's see, back to the agenda. On the Merkle side, we already discussed the analysis a bit, the technical parts. We do want to inform the community also, I think through a formal and informal way. Looking at you, Boo/Ty.
Yes. So regarding the proposal, that's still with me at the moment. I need to put that up on the forum, although we were waiting internally for a review of Ty's document that he did on Friday. I was going to push on Monday, but I think events outside of the association on Monday with the launch of V5 suddenly took everyone's attention. So we'll see if we can get that done this week. But yeah, still with me, but I do need some feedback from some of you guys on Ty's document, especially the last 2 chapters.
Cool, thank you, Boo. Yeah, there are a lot of, it's like how Andrew calls it all the time, a lot of dominoes in play for us. So we have to align everything in time and with the certain priorities. Ty, we discussed the scenarios before on Merkle shortly, because we were looking at Merkle to apply certain scenarios. Do we have some new to mention on that topic?
Yeah, I mean, I can share briefly the report where we're going, and there's a page in it that summarizes the tables. Just let me find the right.
So you hear my air conditioning zooming, by the way, because it's terribly hot here.
You're good.
Cool. All righty, Ty.
Yeah.
We can see your screen.
Oh, you can see it, can you? I
Yep.
can't see it
Yep.
on mine. So you can see this markdown view of the report?
Yep.
Good. Okay, so just briefly going through it, there's the background, how the evaluation was structured. This is the summary. Now, we ran the proof of concept over 4 weeks, but the real comparison is really focused on the last 2 weeks, where we ran 6 Merkel campaigns against the baseline for against the Telex reward baseline. And so here's the native Telex and for period 39 and period 40, and we used the Gini coefficient, which is a measure of fairness against both, to give some sort of comparative figure that we could use as a comparison. And so campaign A was set with this setup for Merkel, which was 60% liquidity, 20% for each token. And then we changed, for each campaign, we changed the weightings of the Merkel settings down to 30, 100% liquidity, more or less equals the native Telex, because that's based purely on fees generated through the liquidity that a provider's put into the pool. And you can see there that the Gini coefficient of campaign C for period 39 compared against the native our Telex reward is different. And the reason being that even although the fees are all 100%, so there's no token A, token B component of the structure going towards the rewards for Merkel, the Gini coefficient is different.
Still lower. Yeah.
And it's lower. And that's because Merkel, even with 100% liquidity, is using a time-weighted average for the distribution of rewards, not just purely on the fees generated. So even if we used 100%, which is comparable to the Telex current system, would still get a fairer contribution going through Merkel. And I think that's an important consideration. But then working down the various settings, here campaign D was flipped completely the other way, where nothing was rewarded for liquidity, and it was all based on the amount of token value that you had in the pool. And then campaign E was a different variation, 80-10-10, and campaign F was almost a three-way split between, or a two-way split between token valuation and fees. And that one turned out to be the most fair distribution. And so that's really the key takeaways from the report, which is then summarized in a few other bits and pieces just to put it into context. But the key takeaways is this setting, 50, 25, 25, is the most fair. And even if we implemented a straight 100%, we'd still get a fairer distribution. And that's important because when you look at the objectives of being fair, but also encouraging high value liquidity providers, because we want people to want to put liquidity into the pools, then it's a fairer distribution than the current existing. So yeah, that's the basis of the conclusions basically, and we'll that's almost ready for publication. We still need to get some feedback from the council, but that's the state of play with regards to the end of report for the proof of concept that we ran over that 4-week period.
Yeah, and I was just going to add on to that too, Ty. I think the beauty with Merkle too is that we have the ability to adjust things if we see that in 3 months, 6 months, that a particular setting format, isn't really necessarily getting the results that we want in terms of that fair distribution or, exciting new liquidity to come into the pools. And we have that ability and that flexibility to adjust. Right. So that's the good thing about it too. It's basically on a campaign by campaign basis, which is essentially on a week to week basis.
Yeah, exactly. So if we want to bootstrap liquidity into, let's say, one of the new stablecoin pools, we can easily incentivize that for a short period of time with very little effort from us. We just create a new campaign, decide on the weightings, and bang, off it goes. So it gives us a lot more flexibility moving forward, I feel. So yeah.
Plus, the beauty of it is also, I think that with these weightings, whether it's on token basis, like in campaign F, 25 to tokens, 50% to fee weighting, we basically incentivize both the longer set and forget strategies and the more active narrow ranges for liquidity providing. So yeah, Merkle.
Exactly. Because in our current system, set and forget, which is a wide range, gets very little rewards that make it disincentivizing. And so with this setting particularly, it works for everybody, I feel. So that's the nub of the report basically.
All right. Well, thank you, Ty. I think we discussed everything from Merkle and so far, formal, informal parts, the technical stuff.
Are there any questions, first of all, that might be a good time to break, Eric, for any questions that are coming in with what we've covered so far?
We can wait a bit. There's none in the chat right now, but we can wait just a minute.
Okay.
Right. There's none in the feed either that I can see.
Is Canada winning, Andrew?
Currently draw right now in the 30th minute, but that's okay. As long as they draw, then they win the group. I'm okay with the draw.
Okay, cool.
You might hear me yelling, or maybe I'll just put myself on mute if they do score, but
I can mute. I'm the host, right? I can mute you if I want.
Surprised you haven't done that before.
The Dutch people, we like Canadians, so I'll leave you on. All right, let's see. Well, we are going. Yeah, I looked at the current rewards for the Telex for our native program for the last weeks. There's little exciting stuff there compared to other periods. Although there was a thing going on from a community member reported to us something about a bug in the system. Let's see. It's also on the miscellaneous on the agenda. I know we have Leo here. Noah is not on the call. Can we get a short summary of what happened with gratitude to the guy or girl that reported it? Leo, are you still here? It's your boy.
I'm here, yes.
Yeah. Could you shed a light on the situation, maybe?
I can indeed. What level of detail do you want?
Not too deep, not too technical also, but yeah.
Okay.
Keep it high.
Basically, the calculator for the rewards goes through events that happen on chain, which are reported to the hook. So that just means things like when people change the liquidity of their position or change the ticks in their position, so like the range that their liquidity is active in, and then it tracks from event to event. and it was basically checking what the ticks were at the start of what's called a sub-period and at the end of the sub-period. And the sub-period is just the space, the amount of time or number of blocks between events. So the issue was basically that Uniswap v4 had a behavior that was kind of overlooked, which is if the price goes outside of a position's range within a given sub period, it does what's called deinitializing those ticks, and basically at the end of that sub period, it won't pick up the same ticks, but it will often pick up the next tick down, which is a lot further away. So it looks like the position essentially has a lot more liquidity than it does, and it was accruing a much higher proportion of rewards to that position as a result. So the fix now has been just use the initial ticks and copy those over to the calculation for the ticks at the end of the sub period. And so Noah basically created this patch. I checked it. It didn't open up any new issues as far as we could see. So it should be watertight now, and we just need basically approval from the council to go ahead with that, and we can issue this week's rewards based on the new patched version rather than the old version. So yeah, this patch basically brings the behavior of the calculator back in line with what we thought it was doing and what it was intended to do. So doesn't need a vote or anything, just an aye from all the council members, I think, will suffice. And then we can go on.
Aye. It's an aye from me.
Yeah, obviously, if it's a fix that will remedy something, it has to be implemented as soon as possible. So yeah, that's an aye from me.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, great work, Leo. You acted fast. I don't know when the bug was reported, but I think within a few days.
It was all Noah really, but
the user, the community, and I mean that's a great sign of the association and the community working hand in hand. The user's name was Martin GR7786, and he brought it to our attention literally a few days ago, and we elevated it to the dev team, and they got to work on it immediately, and Noah then put the fix in place, which is reviewed. So I think that's a great example of us working hand in hand and dependent on the community for really positive feedback. So just like to acknowledge that.
Yeah, completely agree. It's awesome. So thanks a lot to Martin. What do we call him? Martin G. Martin G. Okay. I think enough on that. So in summary, rewards this week will probably go out most certainly with the fix in place. Okay. Back to the agenda.
Hey, Eric, just one thing before we move on really quick. I also want to point out there was another community member that brought it up, a version of this, not the same thing, back in a few months ago, and it's been something that we've been looking at and able to confirm. The Merkle thing has really kind of enabled us to have a third party look at things and how things are going. So the crypto SN8, I think, was somebody else that had brought up something of similar nature, not exactly the same, but just important to give some kudos to the community for bringing this stuff up. Somebody else as well. So
Yeah, I agree, Derek. It's we had when we looked at Merkel, the analysis, we saw some small but strange data on certain spaces, and I think this the reporting of the bug, it actually filled the gaps in that analysis also. So yeah, it's thanks again. Great working together with the community. Okay. Well, then we go to the Q&A. I don't know, Derek, I think you are about the questions, or how do we do this? Are there any questions in the chat? Let me see.
I posted a bunch of them in the
Yeah.
in the chat
Let me
there.
see.
So
Yeah, I got them. How many organizations are currently in active discussions to join the Telex Association? And what types of organizations are showing the strongest interest? Do we have anybody can comment on this question?
No, more of a question there. Is that meant to be Telcoin Association as opposed to Telex Council?
that's how I read it, Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say, even if there was people interested in developing, like with devs on like Telex to plug in, like we wouldn't even be able to mention anything about that anyway,
No.
right? But that would be more of developer side of things, integrating to the Telcoin network and utilizing the pools that we have available through and via Telex to facilitate some of those swaps, right?
Yeah. Okay, then we got GMM7208 starting to get really excited about its integration. Yeah, we too. We're also pretty excited. Then the next one, what are the top 3 initiatives the association expects to fund over the next 12 months, and what measurable outcomes are expected? This is also about the association.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
questions
go
hold
ahead,
off
Andrew.
until next week, and then they could always be asked during the platform and Treasury call. I know there's some issues with the feed stating that this is the platform and Treasury call, but it is not. But that call is going to be on next Thursday.
Okay. Yeah. This is the Telex call, people. It's about DeFi because also the next question. Why can't we add external bank via Plate yet? I'm getting error messages. Yeah, this is a holding or bank question.
Yeah. Eric, why don't we do this? Normally I just screen them. This is pretty common. So the only really one Telex one that has come up was somebody asking essentially what KPIs will be reported publicly that can evaluate whether the Telex is succeeding or not. So that's one I think you guys could probably speak to possibly. That's really one of the only DeFi related ones I can see.
Well, I think the easiest one to follow is TVL. Right, like if we're doing our jobs appropriately, attracting liquidity providers, that would be the metric, the easiest metric to follow, which will be on the Telex website. So if we can follow active TVL and we can continue to see that grow, then that's one of the major KPIs that we want to factor in and follow. I've said it a couple times, we've talked about it a couple times too, kind of the North Star for Telex and responsibility wise is to have that access to liquidity and make it easier for larger swaps to be facilitated and limiting that slippage value, right? Which will lower that slippage value when we have a higher level of TVL in there. So that would be the easiest one to follow.
Yeah, we might want to track the number of liquidity miners as well. Obviously, if we've got a very small number, then maybe we need to do something about it. But
yeah, Derek, go ahead.
I just wanted to know if I built out a rudimentary dashboard for that. I know we talked about it a few weeks ago. If that's something you guys want to look at, I can resurface it. With Merkle happening and everything else, I really just haven't. But more information is power. So if you would like that, I'd be happy to schedule an internal call to review it.
Yeah, of course. All information is welcome. What's on the dashboard, more or less?
It basically is a few different delta charts in regards to what I had showed you guys before with the liquidity concentration, but also it tracks total TVL over time. It tracks active liquidity providing wallets, meaning had a new position within a certain epoch. It tracks total amount of open positions and open wallets.
Mm.
A few different things. You know, it can really. It's more of just the. I started by getting the data feeds correct, and then it's more just what you guys want to see. So I can customize it to whatever you want for internal reporting purposes or external whatever, right?
And I
And
also,
eventually, go ahead, Ty.
sorry, I also think Merkel, although we focused on the actual reward distribution side of Merkel, are there not dashboard stats available within Merkel for different campaigns, which show us a little bit more tracking? I
Yeah,
can't
but
really remember, but Andrew,
I,
can you?
Ty, I think those are basically focused on rewards mostly, and I think what Derek is mentioning it's a broader dashboard with TVL, a lot more information than
Yeah,
Merck.
fair enough.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we'll have to continue to talk about analytics at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we incorporate that into the Telex website too, try to getting, some of the information that I was putting together in the past, whether it's on a live basis of kind of displaying APRs and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to attract liquidity when you say, hey, come and, provide liquidity. Well, what are the rewards? Oh, it's this amount of tel per, this. And it's not defined, right? So we don't have or measure to display what is the average, ROI, anything like that, which is hard to then use to track liquidity, right? So that could be something, Derek. I would suggest probably jumping on an internal call. I was going to suggest the next one, but that being Canada Day, I'm going to selfishly say that maybe we try to reschedule that one if we want to try and do an internal call, whether or not it's sometime later in the week. Next week. But if not, then maybe let's do an ad hoc one where we can kind of get all together.
Yeah, I think I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole because again, we are with the web unification project, a lot of this, but this would be kind of post that. So, and I think it is important. A lot of what you're asking, Andrew, I took your sheet originally and built it off of that with a subgraph and a few other things. So it's all there. It's just a matter of what um, I can build. I can tweak it however you like it. I can, whatever you'd like to do. But if it's something you're interested in, I don't want to do more work at the, right now we're just planning with the web unification. We're porting the current design in of Telex, right? Like we talked about and like we reviewed. So this would be an enhancement of that. And maybe Nick, I don't know what you think, or Leo, if maybe we wait to do, I mean, this is something that can live currently, but, do we want to wait to do that post launch?
Sorry, I
Oh,
missed
I
the
think we wait. I mean, we wait post launch. There's so much going on.
That's why I'm saying I don't want
Yeah.
to, again, because if we're changing Merkel, we're doing all these things, right? And I think maybe Andrew, like conceptually, I just need an idea conceptually of what you guys would like to see for data, and then I can plan around that for when the time comes. Because it does take a little bit of time to build up, the front end. So maybe if we could just have a concept meeting, that would be helpful for me if that's something you guys are interested in, and maybe it's something we can get incorporated into the build process with that.
I'm always down to talk stats, analytics, and data. So let's find.
Me too. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, count me in on that one also.
I'm pretty open to just shoot me whenever you guys want to meet. There's no rush. We've got a lot of irons in the fire. So
what was the start of that question again, Derek? Sorry.
We've been talking about the more of a analytics dashboard. For one of the questions that was raised in the Q&A session was what kind of KPIs are we measuring that determine success. Andrew went on to speak about, TVL is really important. And then we went to talking on about, how are we providing tools that show some of those forward-facing metrics like APR, things of that nature. Is there ways to go around that? And I mentioned that I had started that a few months ago, never really kept going with it because that's when we started Merkle. And so we've decided, I think, kind of as talking through, I was saying, the plan, it's not in the MVP to do anything with the Telex site rather than just the reskin, right? And maybe post that I can have a concept meeting with them, and then maybe we can meet with Khalil and talk about how we can integrate some of those ideas. I have a lot of it done.
The more you talk about it, Derek, it sounds like it should be a phase 2.
Yep, I think I would agree with you too. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm you know me, I love a dashboard. So I think it would be as Andrew stated, a phase 2 would make sense to bring from further insights for users. So I'm happy to help brainstorm as well if you guys want. But yeah, we can definitely. I think you should definitely do that at some point. Just need to know when. Decide when.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Leo, I don't know if you have any thoughts, but I mean, it's if you guys have anything, the core of it's already built. So if you guys have anything you want to see from a council perspective, either if that's admin facing like we had talked about previously, and I demoed a little bit with you guys, where you can get a wallet analysis or whatever else. I have that that logic built. I just need to know. I just need some direction on what you want. That's all.
Okay, let's plan. Let's plan something internally. I would love to. I think you showed me this before a long time ago.
Yeah, you and I, Eric, went over it a while ago. But awesome. I kind of sunsetted it there for a bit because I knew you guys were moving into Merkle. So we just kind of put it on the burner. But something to bring back up now that we're getting closer.
Let's get together soon. It's would love to see it again. Alrighty. We had everything on the agenda so far. Let me see if there's some other.
No other questions in the chat pertaining to Telex. Yeah, and we had an issue with the stream encoder that I'll be working out. But everything's updated. It does have the correct title and everything. So thanks, Andrew and Ryan, if you're listening, for pointing that out.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Are there any subjects that need to be discussed further, or do we call it a day? Because I think we had everything on the agenda. Any more questions, matters to be discussed?
Just giving you an update, Eric. It's 0-0 at half.
Still.
I was just about to ask.
Well, Andrew,
too. Come on.
Yeah. We have a hydration break already. Unbelievable. This stupid
I don't know if
hydration break.
the FIFA ones and the same liquids, but yeah, sure.
But in this heat, I need one after 20 minutes sitting at my desk. So I don't know what they're feeling.
Yeah, but I think half of the stadiums they're playing in air conditioning. It's ridiculous. I think.
And Scotland not playing.
Yeah, Scotland,
Brazil.
Yeah, later on tonight. Well, yeah, 11 o'clock UK time, I think.
Cool. I'm gonna watch that. Yeah, because the Netherlands is coming out the next against Morocco, Brazil, or Scotland, I think. One of those. Well, anyway. Enough about the World Championship. Enough about Telcoin. I think Telex. Cool. Now we call it a day. Thank you very much for joining all. And we see you on the next council meeting. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.